This was my second favorite week. The readings were, I think, so far my favorite week was last week. I think just as a pastor, I enjoy when, as a parent, you enjoy it when the family's all together. At least that's what Kelly tells me. She enjoys it when our family is all together. As a pastor, you enjoy it when the church family's together. So I enjoyed last week's readings, but this week's readings was also very important to me. And John has a few insights to share with us on his experience with the readings. John.
Good morning. There's nothing like being 45 years old and sit down in the pew and your mother sits down beside of you and looks at the bulletin and says, "You're saying something today?" Straight-faced, I looked there and said, "Is that today?" She looks at me and says, "What are you going to do?" I said, "We're going to wing it." So for those of you that are sitting around by Mom, just kind of watch. If she falls out of the pew, just lean her up. She'll come to at some point. After reading several passages from the Treasures of a Transformed Life, I found several interesting things that I'd never thought of. One being, when you think of the teachings of Jesus, there's a lot of things that probably come to mind. That's sacrifice, love, humility, and prayer. But there's one subject that he speaks about more than any other, and that's money. Such as Matthew chapter 6, verse 21, "Wherever your treasures is, there your heart and thoughts will also be." Are we willing to spend money the way Jesus would have us spend it? In Matthew chapter 10, verse 8, we're told, "Give as freely as you received." Giving's not a means of working our way into a relationship with God, but instead it's a response to what God has already done for us. In closing, John D. Rockefeller Jr. once said, "Think of giving not as a duty, but as a privilege."